What happens when someone is sick for years with no answers? What happens mentally in their mind? What does it do to them as a person? Because I'm gonna get deep here. There are divorces, there are breakups, there are just tons of things that happen to very incredible and great, beautiful people, but they have these illnesses that happen to them, and it's a shame. So what happens mentally to these individuals when they're sick for years and they're not getting the answers?
I'd say the biggest issue we see is that people believe that they are stuck that way. And if you believe you cannot heal, if you subconsciously, you consciously might tell me, I can get better. Subconsciously, if you believe you cannot get well, you won't. There's no way around that. So I'd say that's the biggest thing is that there is that component, right? And so you really have to go in and kind of rewire the brain to allow people to think that they can heal, and that's difficult because consciously, though, most of the time they're going to tell you, I can heal. Occasionally, though, we'll get on a call and it's, I'm going to be stuck this way forever. That's a hard mindset to get through, you know? And so there's that. There is the unsafe piece. If you're dealing with Lyme or, I mean, with mold and your house got you sick, that you do not feel safe in your environment, right? If you mentally believe your house is killing you and you do not feel safe there, good luck healing there. And so we start to see these things that it's these little thoughts that come in that the subconscious will plant. And then years and years of that really allow it to grow and grow and grow into this big thing. The other thing is when doctors tell them it's all in your head, you're crazy. Well, that belief grows as well. And so it's really looking at like these self-limiting beliefs that have been either ingrained into them or they believe it because no one has helped them and they do feel stuck that way. But it's from that angle, it's something that has to be addressed, and it's very hard because there's a difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Your conscious mind's about 10% of your actual mind. 90% of it is subconscious. So if 10% of you believes you're going to get well, cool, that's great. But if 90% of the brain is like, nope, nope, we're not going to get well, you're not. And so you've got that side. And then you have the emotional toll of what it's like when you're a partner and your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever you're with doesn't believe that you're sick. They believe the doctors that it's all in your head. They believe that it's not a real illness and that it's just that you're crazy. And you start to hear this unfortunate piece of where one person, because you look fine, right? Someone with chronic illness often looks okay. You're functioning, you look fine. You don't look like what we deem as sick. And so you get, unfortunately, a lot of where spouses, they leave them and they end up getting divorced. Kids will, not want to be involved with their parents because they can't deal with the always complaining, the mom's always sick or mom's always got something. And then from a kid's side, what's interesting is there is this sometimes when kids don't get attention, the brain will realize, hey, when I'm sick, mom always goes to the doctor with me. It's I get attention when I'm sick. And so there's so many ways the brain and the subconscious mind get attention or don't get attention that shape how someone views their chronic illness. And a lot of times it's not conscious, right? So like a kid doesn't think consciously, ooh, I'm going to do this, but their subconscious does. So it's really fascinating the mental piece in there and the subconscious mind piece of healing. And that's where we often refer people to, you have to find a therapy modality that jives with you. Some people that's EMDR, some people that's talk therapy, some people that's hypnotherapy. But finding a modality that you jive with so that you can start to go into the brain and start to rewire it. The simplest thing is, starting to rewire that you can heal. And affirmations don't work on that level. If you believe subconsciously you cannot heal, good luck, right?